Hi there and welcome to Visual Art Photography. I'm Ray Scott. Hey, it's been a while since we've been together, so it's especially great to be with you today. And I'll take this moment to wish you and your family a lot of safety and good health. All right, we're doing autumn photography today, which means that usually we look up for the beautiful leaves, but today we're going to be looking down, more specifically at autumn flowers, which are in abundance right now, and they're beautiful. And they're very robust, they're very hardy flowers, so they're kind of fun to shoot. Very colorful as well. So in my neighborhood, a lot of people have autumn flowers going right to the street. You can shoot them right from the road. You don't have to get close to anybody or anything or infringe on anybody's space, and you can shoot to your heart's content. Maybe it's like that where you live too. But in this case today, we're going to be going to my backyard to shoot something called stonecrop sedum, which all through the summer is just green and maybe a little bit yellow before the flowers open. But then in September, things really start to pop. And I had a special situation going on back there, which was not very good, but it kind of took care of itself and worked out. And I'm going to show you that. And also, if you like doing flowers in the macro world, I have on my other channel, Macro World, the same flowers, stonecrop sedum, but with the macro treatment. So if you're interested in that too, you can click the link right below in the description and go over to that video as well. So let's get started. So to make a long story short, this vine that you see coming over and cascading over the fence is being used as a frame, but it was a really big problem earlier on 2 months ago, because 2 months ago this vine, which belongs to my neighbor, comes over the fence and it starts hooking onto the flowers and starts choking the flowers. This vine is extremely invasive. So I cut it back 2 months ago to nothing. There was no vine there at all, but that's how fast it grows. So 2 months later I have this, but this time instead of falling on top of the flowers and hooking onto them, it arranged itself on the fence all by itself and kind of worked as a frame. And I looked out the window and I said, wow, this may work. And of course now the flowers have popped and they're this pink and fuchsia looking thing, and I thought, okay, I'm going to get down to it. Now disregard the weeds down below, please, but it doesn't matter. They're not going to come into a factor because they're not going to see them in my compositions. And so what are we going to do with all of this? Well, we move in closer, obviously, a little bit, and we are going to start off a little bit lower as well. And this is what you come up with, something like this. Now we remove the weeds from the bottom. This is the beauty of photography, right? You can leave out what doesn't look so great. Even the fence, which is not a very good fence, glad it's not mine, but it is on my property, has a certain texture to it. And the vines coming over, they have a certain texture. And the way, again, the way they were draped kind of works too. And you can even see up on the top right, and even some of in the lower right, kind of holy, they're kind of defective, these leaves. I like that. I like the decay. I like a little bit of that. But obviously it's the color of these fall flowers. That's what's making it. And I was shooting this first one 70 millimeters, a sixth of a second at f/16. So maximum depth of field, or close to maximum depth of field. And there's the light coming in a little bit from the right-hand side. And I've used a little bit of a vignette just to make sure that the flowers are the star in this particular shot without degrading anything around it. Because I want you to see the fence and I want you to see the vines. That's what drew me to it to start with, was actually the vines coming over all of this color. Now we move in a little bit more and down a little bit more. So now it's really about the flowers. All right, this shot is about the flowers. Again, shot at f/16, but the vines they're not totally sharp. They're a little bit softer. It's the flowers that are sharper, and they are the star. That's what I wanted. There is no vignette here. Just wanted to have it like that. Stonecrop sedum in the autumn. Now here's exactly pretty much the same shot, but in Lightroom I
put the clarity slider the other way just to soften it up. Now you can use a soft focus filter or any other number of things just to soften it. That was the whole point, was just to soften the image. And it kind of makes that light coming in from the left-hand side through the fence on those flowers. It's kind of nice. Now, again, we can go back to the way it was, okay? And the light is coming in, but it's not highlighted as much as when you soften it. And just softened it. And it was just the effect that I wanted for this particular shot. You may want to do something else with it, right? I just want to draw your attention to something, though, on this other one. Go back for a second. You see that plant down there, and there's a few others like that. That's a really interesting thing to see in the macro world. So if you do go over to my macro world channel and do go over to the video that is showing these same flowers but in a macro fashion, that part of the flower is incredible to see in the macro world. Just fantastic. Okay, next shot. This one is meant really to highlight the fence and the vines. So I've placed, just a compositional tool, I've placed the flowers in a place of it's not that it's unimportant, but it's just not as important. Now it's the whole that's more important as we look at the flowers occupying the bottom third. And you see a lot of the fence, and you see a lot of the vines. Just a different compositional tool, and you'll notice there's been a vignette, and it's actually almost a little bit spotlighted on the center of the image, but the flowers are coming in bright at the bottom. Compositional tool. Okay, so now let's move away from being low, and let's go above a little bit, and you can see that. And again, about that macro thing, that's the kind of thing that you're going to see over on the macro channel, but up close. And it's incredible. It's just incredible what you can see there. But this visual art photography, we're moving back a little bit. We're at about 70 millimeters at f/16, and you can see a really nice clump of these flowers, and they are beautiful. They're just beautiful. Autumn photography, autumn flowers, up a little bit closer, 150 millimeters, and now you're starting to see the individual things going on there, the buds coming out, opening up, the greenery. It's really beautiful, and we're a long way from seeing those weeds, right? Remember at the beginning when we saw the weeds, and now you wouldn't even know there's a fence or anything. It's just the flowers.
I think one of the lessons here is if you let nature take its course, you can come up with something really beautiful. I really had nothing to do with the way those vines came in. They came in on their own, and they came in really nicely. And of course the flowers, the autumn flowers, the stonecrop sedum, an amazing flower. You may have something like that around your area as well, and if you do, give it a shot. I think you may like what you come up with. Until next time, I'm Ray Scott, reminding you, it's not what you see, it's how you see it. And I'll see you soon.